Hey, Tim, if you're talking, I can't hear you.
Well, I'm sorry. Good morning, everybody. My fault. Didn't have the mic up. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tim the Trader. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Let me come back here. I was showing. Thank you, Keith. I was showing Friday's chart, and it was a sell-off. Pretty much most of the day had that extended sell-off till about when we got off. Then right at a little bit before 11, had a little bit of a swing back to the let me mute somebody out there. We had that little swing high that hit the demand zone, never could quite get back to the demand zone, never really rose, had a little bit of sell off. End of day, it was looking like falling knives. End of day. So Q closed at 448.94 and it's sitting at 452.74 now. So it doesn't look like we're going to have a gap play this morning. Head back over all the way up to where we are currently. We have 1.136 million in pre-market volume, pretty good volume, and pretty lopsided premiums at the money on your option chain. We are trading tomorrow's expiration. Keith will tell you what he's trading here in a minute. But we'll start at the money, which currently is the 452 on the call side, trading at 241 at the call, and the 453 on the put side, which is trading for 645. I think that will even out a little bit when we get in here. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my good friend, Mr. Keith Frampton. Good morning, Keith.
Good morning, Tim. Good morning, everybody. No big announcements today. There is a wholesale inventories at 10, but it's a real minor thing, so don't expect it to move much. Couple bond auctions at 11:30. Big thing this week is the consumer price index on Wednesday before the market opens, and Thursday the producer price index again at 8:30 before the market opens. So those are the big ones this week that the Fed will be looking at next week for the potential rate hike next week. So that's it. And I'm trading this Friday's expiration, the 13th.
Okay. Let me let Greg in. Great. Thank you, sir. We got about 30 seconds for the market opens, for the session opens. We're getting a bit of a push up now in pre-market, at least the last 5 minutes going. The markets are up pretty well, as a matter of fact. We'll get numbers as soon as we get into the session. Get real numbers as soon as we get into the session. Get actual numbers. And let me mute out Mr. Greg. There we go. We're in. Didn't have to count in because I was talking too much. And we are in. Start with a little push down. I'm going to set the 452 on the call side on my active trader right now. Bit of a push down to VWAP. And volume coming in real quickly. Get my volume chart up. I want to welcome, I see a number of new folks who are in visiting us today. So we will talk a little bit about what our methodology is. Let us get a few trades under our belt, and then we will talk about our chart layout, our methodology, our indicators, how we get in and out of trades, the whole ball of wax. I'll give you finishing up the first minute here and getting a bounce right off of VWAP, right off the bat. And lots of volume that first minute, no question. All right, let's see what our broader markets are looking like currently. All right, Dow is up 267, Nas is up 161, and S&P is up 43. So pretty strong market on the positive side. And pushing up here a little bit, see if this is always in our first couple of minutes. We're looking for an early breakout, like the one that Keith hit his grand slam on last week. Last week, we had a great week last week. No losses at all last week, so we're real pleased with that. See if we can carry that into this week. All right, so on the option chain at the 453 on the call side, 454 on the put side. We'll just keep an eye on the call side. Getting some push up here. Of course, we've got on our broader markets all green, but it's just started. All right, guys, going over to the 453 strike call, 453 on the call side. So far, really good volume coming in, getting the push up here. I'm going to go ahead and enter the 453 on the call side. There we go. And in at 364. 364. And it's up to 364. Just a slow climb here. The 370. Little bit of a pullback here. We'll see if this overcomes. We're going to stick with this regardless, just because the markets are so strong. Market maker and get some FOMO going here. All right. Oh. Kind of hitting some resistance here. If we can just push past this little resistance, we should be okay. Yep, getting some reversal here. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to hold on to this.
Got a 461 at 58. Let's see where this is going to go. So,
Yeah, we keep kind of hitting some resistance up here, right about the same level at 453.71. Just needs to push through that. Had a little crazy Ivan here. Come on, let's push up here. Just can't quite get over the hump here, but I have confidence it will. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and take some profit here. All right, out at 373, 364 to 373. Going to go back to the 453 on the call side, 453 on the call side. Let's go ahead and let me zoom in one there. We're going to put a demand zone in on the bottom, or yeah, we'll put a demand zone in on the bottom, pseudo demand zone right here on the bottom of this first 5-minute candle.
I had to look over my shoulder because that's exactly what I just did.
Great minds and all.
Yeah.
Activate that, clean that up a little bit. And then we're going to add a day to it and call it done for now. Price coming down to just about the demand zone. So got our first trade in, positive, +9. Always like getting that first one in on Monday.
I'm surprised that's all you got out of that one, Tim.
Me too. I think it's coming though. But really not a lot of movement going on in the market right now. Pretty tight little range.
Yeah, 3.3 million underlying though traded.
Mm-hmm. Definitely looking for calls this morning. at least so far.
I'd like to see that MACD on the Heikin-Ashi reset a little bit.
Yeah. In fact, let me get that in range and pull this up to there. Open this up a little bit. There we go. Oops. For that starts. Yeah, we're just stuck in this little range. We're just going to wait for it to break out of this range, probably before we look for another trade. Come on, break on through. All right, so our Heikin-Ashi lower right chart MACD has gone below the gold line. It's telling us we're in a put position, but don't believe it. We're in a put bias. Look at the 5-minute MACD. It's well above the control line. Obviously, no real change, trend or direction yet. So while we wait for that, I know we've got some new folks on the line checking us out. Just want to give you a tour of our charts. Upper left is a 1-minute chart with a volume subchart. There's a red line here set at 100,000. We know the market maker has an easier time getting a good trend and direction going when it's above 100,000. It's not to say they can't. Below that, just takes longer to get there. They're less dependable. Below that is a 5-minute chart. The 5-minute chart is what we mark our zones on. We use the zone system as one of our indicators. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Below that is a custom MACD. It is, for lack of a better word, tuned to the movement of QQQ and SPY. To the right of that is another 1-minute chart, but it's in a Heikin-Ashi view. And the Heikin-Ashi view price is determined over several candles. Okay. And below that is the MACD. As you can see, that is another one of our indicators, is MACD. And then above that is our active trader, which a lot of us use to get in and out of trades. So that's a basic view of our charts. Now I have 3 screens. On my second screen, I have my option chain and a monitor set up that shows me my completed trades. And over on my third monitor, I have a 15-minute and a 30-minute longer term chart that we're starting to incorporate with pretty good success into our trade decisions making.
And we probably can put a supply zone in there, Tim.
We sure can. Go ahead and do that. Clean this up a bit. Neatness counts. Right there. Okay, we've got a supply zone, but our supply zones, we turn those red. HSV at 60%. And price level, we're going to turn red as well. So now we have a real supply zone. Pretty tight zone this morning. Not as much price movement as volume would suggest. We are up to 4,300,000. Market maker trying to break through the supply zone, has been trying ever since we established it back here. So for those of you who are joining, who are checking us out today, we use these zones. We mark these zones whenever price gets to a point and there's not one other trader on the planet who's willing to spend 1 more cent for it, price has to reverse. Market maker has to start rotating price down, take the next lowest bid, and we mark that. And we do that because they're significant later on. Price tends to come back to it, tends to bounce off of it, and can also break through it. But price will come back to these zones repeatedly throughout the day. So we track those, knowing that a few things can happen when price reaches those points. So between our zone system, our MACDs, and our longer term charts, that's how we determine our trade entries.
Boy, it's had quite a few try to cross us on that zone too, on that supply zone.
Mm-hmm.
Practically every single candle.
Mm-hmm. Dow's still up 282, Nas up 167, S&P up 45. So still a really positive market. Market maker dipping down, probably triggering stops as it goes. You can see it's come down to VWAP. Our purple line is VWAP, volume weighted average pricing. And bouncing off of VWAP. So we just stay patient.
We got about 10 minutes to the pop of the top if there's going to be a pop.
We don't have any bond auctions today, Keith?
Yeah, 11:30. There's 2 of them.
Oh, 11:30. Okay. Thank you.
Yep, the 3-month and the 6-month bond auction at 11:30.
Okay. All right, price coming all the way back up. Looks like a crazy Ivan happened. And you'll see this a lot, finally breaking through. All right, so I am going to just keep an eye on the 453 on the call side, 453. Okay.
We got the Heikenasi crossover too.
Yes, needed that reset down there. Ooh, look at that angle. Beautiful angle on that turnaround on our 1-minute Heikenasi down here on the lower right. Love seeing those. All right, let's see if they can break and continue up. So what I was saying is you'll see this market maker pushing price down, triggering stops, picking up positions. It's like picking up ammunition, and so that they can turn it around. Couldn't get it done on the 949 candle, but obviously got it done on this last candle at 950 and push price up and beyond the supply zone. Now the trick is, does it keep going? That long bottom wick is a good indicator that price will continue up. So let's go over to the 454 on the call side. Stand by. Squeaky truck. All right, I'm going to go ahead and enter this. And filled at 331.
And I got into that also.
Okay. We'll see if we get a trend out of this. We're showing green on our 15 and 30-minute candles. Probably going to have to wait through some reversals here. Price coming down again to the supply zone, touching the supply zone. See if we get a bounce off. Market maker may be taking out stops right here to continue up. Market maker wanted to dig a little deeper in that last minute. But you can see we're finally getting our bounce off of the supply zone. All right, this is the demand zone is a pseudo zone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it up to this actual price agreement right here. And let me activate the price level, bring it up to there. There we go. See, we're up to 5,500,000 on the underlying. Let's just start a nice long trend here, Keith.
Yeah, that would be good. I'd settle for that.
Mm-hmm. Get some FOMO going, get a lot of retail traders in, got some low volume going on right now.
At about 2 minutes to the pop, if there's going to be one.
Okay.
There we go. Keep it going.
Thank you. Now, we'd like to be out of this for the pop at the top, but we don't have any reports coming out or really anything around that. Keep going.
If I can get about 12 cents on this, I'm going to take it
Yeah.
and close. There we go. Just a little bit more here. Come on.
Go on up. Now, looks like we may have to hold this through the pop, Keith.
Yep.
All right, here we go. 9, 10. That's some decent volume the last 2 minutes. Obviously, the market maker's choosing to take this down. Probably wants to pick up some positions before it continues up. So they got to do that some days.
And so often after 2 or 3 minutes, it reverses on this after the pop.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Get some green going. All right, there we go. Come on. Sometimes you just got to talk to it.
Yeah, just encourage it along. It needs a nice big tranche of buy orders to come in. Well, we just wait. Just be patient. It's going to come.
Just for those interested, the wholesale inventories were down just a tad from what they expected.
Hmm.
Like I said, that was a minor report, so wasn't expected to move the market much.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're supposed to go the other way. Green, green. I'm calling it Crazy Ivan on the next candle.
Mm-hmm.
And again, huh, we probably could move that supply zone up though.
Oh, we certainly could, couldn't we? Let's activate that. Let's move the supply zone up to here. I'm going to activate the price level, move it up to there, and do one more thing. Give this an extra day. There we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's what we
That's
like
the
to see.
direction we want.
Is that the direction we want to go?
You betcha.
So this little pullback is just the market maker dipping down, picking up positions. Remember, the market maker is always buying as price goes down. Market makers are buying, probably filling up the warehouse right now.
Trying to get that Heiken-Aussie MACD down to middle range so it can turn around and go back up some more.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
There we go. Price had already broken through once earlier at 10:03. Price is kind of meandering about, no real clear direction at this point. But the markets are all up significantly, which bodes well for us. But see how price comes back to the zone. Another zone that we didn't talk about is VWAP. VWAP acts as a zone, and in a lot of ways, it's the strongest zone on the chart. We often see price, thank you, price, bounce off of VWAP. Let's see if we can get a good trend going here. Break on through. There you go.
Wow, look at that.
There we go. I'm going to go ahead and take profit here, folks, at 331 to 346.
And I took profit too, 452 to 475. 23
Nice.
cents.
Nice. And we're going to wait a minute or so before we get into another trade. Make sure this is not a crazy Ivan. We had to wait a while for that, but it worked out. Longer term charts are showing all green. Our 30-minute chart had dipped into the red for a few minutes, back green. So notice how, and I was talking about this earlier, notice how the market maker brought price down. And like I said, they're buying on the way down, and in a up market like we have now, you can expect that this will only go so far as they try to fill the warehouse with positions. and then turn it around, open the doors, have a fire sale, try to get price up. Now see this reversal here. This is what we were concerned about. When we have a quick rise in price, we often have a quick reversal on it as well. It was looking like some FOMO was taking place around 450, 466. That extended that candle up as high as it was, allowing us to get out with some nice profit on that trade.
Hey, Tim, if you got a second, can you drag your 30-minute chart over? I want to compare it to mine.
Okay, see if I can, actually, I'll do it this way. Do this differently. Let me just share it. There you go.
Yeah, where did you say it dipped into the red a little bit on the 30-minute?
On that current 30-minute candle, it dipped down a bit, became red for a short period of time.
Oh, the candle itself red. I thought you meant the it crossed over. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Go back to that.
Yeah, a lot of times if you're not in a Heikenase mode on those longer term charts, as soon as you get the new candle on there, it can move quite a bit one way or another.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, Gary's got some questions for us. Gary asks, what prompted you to decide to put in a demand zone and why there? Yeah, so I put in the demand zone because you see price came down and it reversed and went up, creating a price agreement right there at that price level. So whenever price, just like when price rises and there's not another person literally on the planet will spend another penny for it, it will reverse. Well, the same thing happens on the bottom side. And so we go from oversold to overbought to oversold to overbought. And the cyclical nature of price continues. But that's why, because there's a price agreement there, Gary.
And if there would have been a price agreement lower prior to that, we would have stayed at the lower one. But that was just a pseudo demand zone where we had entered at the beginning of the that 5-minute candle, the first candle.
Right. And the second question is, would you take a picture of your trading desk to show us what that setup looks like? Yes, I will. Yep. That's what my trade desk looks like. 3 monitors, microphone, my trade journal on the bottom there, another trade journal next to me. But that's what it looks like. On the right, I have my option chain, my monitor. Over on the left, I have the other 2 charts plus Zoom. So there it is.
You didn't point out the microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry. And the microphone. Right there. Thank you for the questions.
Set up sort of similar, that I have various chart windows set up on 3 monitors. I do not have a fancy microphone though. Maybe next year.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so getting a bit of a sell-off here. This could just be another push down to pick up positions. This looks like this is what's going on today, is these are short-term reversals that are happening so the market maker can pick up positions before they continue up. So not really interested in a put trade at this point. We've got 7,400,500,000 in on the underlying. And wow.
Well, it's coming down.
It is coming down. Down to the demand zone. Dow is up 437, Nasdaq 178, S&P up 54. I expect Nas won't stay there for long if this keeps going on. So far today, just 2 trades so far, both positive, up 24. Now, see how price is struggling at VWAP? That's what I was saying before on that last candle, the 1019 candle. Price came down to VWAP and struggled getting through it. It has punched through, and they may try to punch through the demand zone. There are stops accumulated around the demand zone. I'm sure. I can't see them, but I'm sure they're there. And once again, price gets stalled at VWAP. Did manage to push through with a second push. Now, this should spring back.
We can move our supply zone up too.
We can. So price has pushed through. That is the first time we've pushed through the demand zone. Price trying to bounce. Price kind of getting stuck between VWAP and the demand zone here.
And it's a pretty narrow zone there too.
Really. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the fifth time price has tried to break through the demand zone, and market maker's only going to try so many times. All right, let's head over to the put side. I'm going to head over to the 454 on the put side. Get some charts back in view here. Our 5-minute is crossed. Let's see.
Yeah, I think we missed that, Tim. Should have got in a little bit sooner
Yeah.
because the MACD on the Heikenasi is starting to turn around and maybe bottom out there.
$15 and $30 have gone red. Well, clearly we've got a trend going here. All right. Going over to the 453 on the put side, 453. maybe too late to the party.
Yeah, if you do get in this, I'd go for a quick gain because watch for that turnaround.
Yeah.
Every time I was looking to possibly get into that, my cat dug his claws into me. So I think he was trying to tell me something. Don't do it.
That would be the cat indicator.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Wow. Let's see, we should be below the open now. Yep. A lot of volume coming in on this minute. Looking at the 453 on the put side. Let's make sure this is not a crazy Ivan. That's a lot of push down for 1 minute. I can see the volume that's supporting it coming down.
And Heiken MACD's getting pretty long in the tooth there too. Pretty low.
Sure is.
What kept you out of the trade even after it broke the zone and VWAP?
For me, the markets being up as high as they are kept me out of that trade. But I'll tell you, there's probably 2 or 3 times I was almost in it.
Yeah. The MACD on the Heiken was down quite a ways too. So that kept me from getting in it. In addition to the things Tim mentioned. Looking back at the charts again, as we look back at some things, the 1019 mark probably would have been the indicator that I should have gotten in.
Yeah.
Maybe 18, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Now, if there comes this little pullback. All right. I'm going to go over to the 453 on the put side. 453. I'm going to go ahead and enter this. And I'm in at 369.
I went ahead and got in too. I'm going to try to get 10 cents for this. I can do that.
Got a bit of a messy middle going on right now. Messy middle rule, 9 times out of 10, we will go out the same direction we came into it with. So our expectation is price will continue to go down.
All right, I got 10 cents on that.
Okay.
I was concerned the MACD is really flattened out on the Heiken-Asi.
Yep. All right, got some volume coming in now, additional push down and getting out of this, taking profit. And I got 5 cents, 369 to 374.
367 to 375.
No, thank you, Ashim.
Okay.
Had to beat me. But we do have, I mean, continuing strong push down on our long-term charts. It's not really showing any let up. We had to go through that little messy middle right there, and it kicked out following the messy middle rule. So 3 trades, all positive, plus 29. This is not unusual for a Monday.
I got 2 trades up 33.
Okay. Wow. Nice. All right, let's see what our markets are doing. Just curious. Should have a lot of drawback on yep. So Dow's up 394, Nas is still up 89. It's come back, back about halfway. S&P's up 37, so still positive markets, but real strong. I mean, this push down continues to be pretty strong. Getting into another messy middle right here. We've got 10,200,000 in on the underlying volume, about average. But you can see where the market maker has brought volume in to really push price down, like at 10:30, really long bearish red candle down. And again here on this candle that got me out of the trade at 10:38. Trying to get a bit of a reversal started here.
I have to turn that ship around though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, price can be like a big oil tanker in the middle of the ocean going full speed one direction. When the market maker tries to start turning that around, it can take a while to turn that big, fully loaded oil tanker around in the middle of the ocean. These transitions can take a number of minutes before they take hold. Now, with this massive push down that we've had, I'm sure the market makers' warehouses are full of positions. Continuing to push down. Randy says zone, possibly. We'll give it a few more minutes, let this 5-minute candle burn a little bit longer, and we'll, if it stays green up to the next candle, this candle just started, we'll put a zone in, we'll pull down and put a demand zone in and turn the other one into a minor zone.
$10.50. Up 56 cents. I'm
Nice,
happy.
nice job. Way to go, Ashim.
I'm happy.
Well, continuing to sell off here. I'm going to go back to the 452 on the put side, possibly the 451. All right, we can go ahead and put in a new demand zone. (11 to 21). Give it an extra day. Boom. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to turn this old one into a minor zone by turning it gray. Color, more, HSV, 60. Boom. Now it's a minor zone. Almost as powerful as the major zones, the demand zone and the supply zone, but just a little less. Boy, our MACD dipped to 1.0 down. That's quite a base. So I can see our 5 minutes start to converge back toward the control line. All right, I'm going to flip back over to the call side, to the 451 on the call side. See what our markets are doing. Dow is up 413, Nasdaq is up 97, S&P up 41. Still very positive. Price bouncing off of the new demand zone. See if this call can get some legs under it. Or kind of been in a messy middle here for a while. It was looking like price was going to just continue selling off. Then we got this reversal at 1048, slightly higher volume coming in. Looks like the market maker trying to sneak in a reversal. I'm sure their warehouses I'm sure they're full of positions and would like to start selling off some of this stuff. have to be careful on these turnarounds, not to get in too early. Want to make sure that it really is a turnaround first. Our longer term 15 and 30-minute charts are still showing a very strong put direction or put bias. In fact, they're so strong, I wouldn't be surprised to see some more sell-off. So you can kind of see what I mean about not getting into that reversal too early. This did end up reversing again back toward the put side. Trying to break through the demand zone again, and there it goes. That our 1 minute MACD is about to cross under again. Okay, guys, we are at the top of the hour. We're going to go ahead and call it a session for now. Just 3 trades this morning, up 29, all positive trades. So still keeping our pretty darn good record from last week. Anyway, guys, that's it. I hope you have a great afternoon. Be careful trading, and I will see you all in the morning. Take care.
All right, see you, everybody.